Me? I never look back. But Comic Book Man? He can't move on unless he reviews this past week. Big baby.
Let's say goodbye to yesterday. It's Week in Review for December 22nd, 2010.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for Week in Review. This is a Week in Review for the 22nd of December. Like I always say, if you go to ShipShape for this same week and put it together with this show, you watch them back to back, you get a real good handle for what happened on the week of December the 22nd, 2010. Of course, Christmas happened!
Yay.
Yay! Yay! Cheer up!
Merry Christmas.
I'm sitting here with Sweet Dan Sweet. He's joining me today because he's got his Yoda t-shirt on.
No, Yoda, that's Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca t-shirt is here.
Yoda. Who wears Yoda shirts?
Oh yeah, that is Chewbacca. I thought it was
Chewbacca.
Yoda. Oh, I
You see
thought it was
the
Yoda.
variety?
That's Chewbacca. Chewbacca.
I'm neat.
Anyway,
He doesn't eat grapes.
Christmas was this week. And of course, the industry shipped out a bunch of Christmas books this week. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this week's shipping. And,
Okay.
Santa Claus
Yay,
versus
shipping.
Oh,
Santa
yay,
Claus
shipping.
versus Galactus.
and of course, the big one for the week was our book of the week, Green Lantern's Larfleeze.
Larfleeze.
Christmas special. This is a fun little book. Larfleeze is of course the Orange Lantern.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Is the Orange Lantern of Avarice, and of course with Christmas coming, he's like the worst kid in the world because he wants everything for Christmas.
He ate all the cookies.
And he's waiting for the man in the red suit to show up, and he really is waiting for the man in the red suit to show up.
He thinks there's a Santa Claus.
He thinks well, of course there's a Santa Claus. We all know there's a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And he's waiting for him to show up.
Waiting for Santa Claus.
And when he doesn't, he is very, very, very upset. And Hal Jordan has to show him what the true meaning of Christmas is. It's not to give.
True meaning of Christmas is not to give.
He receives a beating.
It's not to receive. It's to give.
What?
Oh.
It's to give.
Well,
Of course,
when?
because it's Christmas.
They're obviously not in America when this story is told.
He's just foul. Also this week, Christmas-wise, was Dynamo 5 Christmas Special, 2010. Oh, all these folks were in it. I didn't read it. Don't know what it's about.
Yeah, me either. I didn't pick that one up.
But it was their holiday special.
well,
Also this week, Gold Digger humped out yet another Christmas special. This is their
Wow.
fourth one in a row. Fans who like Gold Digger pick this up like crazy because they love Gold Digger. And if you don't love Gold
Who
Digger,
loves Gold Digger?
there are folks out there who buy Gold
What is
Digger.
that about?
There are it's
Are they furries?
It's one of those anamorphic things. It's one of
Or
those
furries.
Yes,
a
furries.
manga
Furries.
deal,
It's one of those
right?
anamorphic things.
People who want to have.
She is sort of like the Laura Croft of the furry animal set.
Wow.
Anamorphic furry animal set.
That's really bizarre.
And of course we had Grim Fairy Tales, the Boobalicious special, and this is not the cover.
Classy.
This is not the cover that everyone wanted. This is the cover that everyone didn't want, which is why I still have it here at the store. Of course, the cover that everyone did want, we featured last week, and it had two prominent things on it, which everybody wanted.
Some chick's breasts.
Yes, those were the prominent things. That one shipped this. That was the big thing for this week was of course holiday books. Also this week, a bunch of indie stuff shipped. Hey, why don't you tell us about this?
What? What am I holding?
The Cape.
The Cape is a good book. It is an adaptation of a Joe Hill short story in which some kid gets this little cape that makes him fly.
Yeah,
And
Makes
I'm right here.
there you go.
Center.
He jumps off the garage roof.
By the end of the book, everything's turned on its ear.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away because
Don't.
that would be lame.
Don't.
But if you have an extra $3.99, buy this book because it is awesome and it is coming back in some sort of short series.
This
next
doesn't
year.
have anything to do with the coming TV series.
Not at all.
No,
Thank
not at all.
goodness.
Some people thought it did, but it doesn't.
Not me.
Okay. Also this week, indie-wise, was Mice Templar!
Volume 3.
You love Mice Templar.
I love Mice Templar. It's not the mouse guard that everybody loves. But I've been accused by people of making fun of Brian
Who?
Glass.
Why?
Remember? Because I didn't like his Valkyrie series?
Oh, yeah, that's
Valkyrie
right.
one-shot.
You thought that stunk.
It was horrible, but Mice Templar is a lot of fun. This is the first issue of Volume 3,
Yeah.
so if you haven't been following it, I don't know, but
Pick it up.
I thought it was swell.
Pick it up. Also this week, Tank Girl shipped yet another in the ongoing series of Tank Girl miniseries that come out. This book does not sell worth a damn here at the store, but as I've said before, I know there's an audience for it out there because they keep making the things.
Did you read it?
No, I didn't read it. Tank Girl's not my cup of tea.
There's almost nudity on the cover.
Almost.
And there's no nudity in the book.
Actually, you have a little.
I thought that was a little.
You have a little thing, right?
Right there, well,
right
I said on the cover you
right
get
there,
almost
right there.
nudity,
Almost.
but in the book no nudity.
Oh,
Lots of cussing.
I hate it when that happens.
Lots of cussing.
Marvel Comics did ship books last week. Marvel Comics shipped books last week, and of them we have Ultimate Doom, which is a continuation of the Ultimate storyline, which was
Yay.
Ultimate Mystery and Ultimate Bunyan,
Ultimate
and
threat.
Ultimate Cramps,
Ultimate enemy.
Ultimate whatever, and this is the continuation of that.
Ultimate cramps.
Yes, Ultimate Cramps.
Wow.
Ask Nikki about that.
ultimate bloated gas pains.
Ultimate blow gas pains. Anyway, first issue of this shipped. Of course, Reed Richards is the bad guy in this. I'm not
Whoa!
giving anything
Spoiler
away.
alert.
Well, it's right there at the beginning, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, some
Yeah.
people don't know. There's one guy on his mom's couch right now who's
Time to
really
get up.
pissed.
Time to get up. Walk out the door. Go to your comic book store and stop reading stuff online.
This is true.
So you read this. How is it?
This is awesome. This is I'm one of the people who has supported the ultimate shakeup
Yeah.
of Ultimatum and the Wave and everything.
Yes.
So this turning the Fantastic Four on its ear and kind of turning Reed Richards into a douchebag.
Yes.
Great idea.
Great idea.
Because he's a smart guy and he has a cool power when used in combat against his own former allies.
Yeah.
This book is the stuff.
It's
And
the
it's
stuff.
still Bendis and Raphael Sandoval.
Cool.
You know,
Okay.
Rafa Sandoval.
Also this week from Marvel was Thor, the Wolves of the North. It's a one shot. Yet another Thor book
Yeah,
to throw on the
we
pile
got
because there's a
Thor
movie
book.
coming out.
Oh yeah.
This one involves Thor and Odin's two dogs that he's got.
I didn't read it.
I forget what their names are.
I'm Thored out,
Ymir
man.
and Yaffer or whatever the heck their name is. But if you like Norse, if you like Thor with a Norse tinge as opposed to superheroic stuff, you might want to pick this up. Also, What If continues with What If Dark Reign,
Uh-oh.
which also shipped this week. Next week, What If 200 is coming in, and I think that's the last of the What Ifs for this year.
And you know what's so great about that?
What?
Is in that issue, it's going to be the culmination of the 5-part What If Venom Possessed Deadpool storyline.
You're waiting for that.
I haven't been reading it, but I heard it's going to be really good.
Hey, why don't you do me a favor? Hand me that Fantastic Four in the end,
Because you can't reach it.
because I can't reach it.
All right, here it is.
Also this week from Marvel, last thing we're going to talk about, Fantastic Four, number 586. This is the penultimate issue to the end of the Fantastic Four as we know them. One of these people will die. I don't think so.
I think so.
One of these people will die.
Somebody's
and-
dead.
And
Johnny Storm.
At the end of this book, they are all in some sort of cliffhanger of terrible danger. Johnny and a very human Ben
Yep.
are holding off the negative zone horde, which are about to overwhelm them.
Yep.
Sue is about to get killed by Atlanteans, and Reed
Crazy
is
looking catfish Atlanteans.
crazy-looking catfish.
And Reed is with Galactus.
Reed is with Galactus, trying to save an Earth from being destroyed by Galactus.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to get 6 billion people off a planet in like 20 minutes. So.
I don't know who. It's Johnny Storm. Let's just say that.
And that's the week in comics. Now we're going to do a little bit of news for media and for wrestling and for comic books, and we're going to do it right over there.
Over there.
And some of the happenings in this week's news. DC Comics is planning a big rollout on their $2.99 comic book price point that's coming up this coming year in 2011. They're going to have banner ads, and the January issues of the Buyer's Guide, Comic Shop News, and Wizard are all going to push it. DC is actually making a really big deal about this, which is nice because DC usually doesn't make a big deal about much of anything anymore. Marvel's always the one that's been much sharper on the marketing than DC has. I hope this is the start of a new thing for DC, and they're actually going to start pushing their books more. But look for this $2.99 marketing campaign starting probably next week, because all the covers are going to have iconic views of all their characters on them. So you know that that's it. Also this week it was announced that the man who has made the most money in comics last year is named Eiichiro Oda. He is the creator of One Piece over in Japan. He had a total income of over $24 million last year, according to Bushin Magazine. Which is a Japanese magazine, I assume. The amount is a combination of his royalties on the manga, which is about $15.5 million, and other products that he has made money off of associated with the manga, which is another $9 million. It's One Piece. I've had it here at the store. I have it here at the store. Manga has slid over the last year or so, primarily I would assume because of the economy, but it is still huge in Japan, And this is the biggest of the big right now over in Japan. And this guy's making money hand over fist. It's setting a sales record. There's a print run. His most recent One Piece had a print run of 3.2 million copies. 3.2 million copies. Any of the comic book companies would sacrifice their firstborn for 3.2 million copies sales on any of their books. But this guy's, he sold 3.2 million of the last one that came out. The only one who's come close to that same amount in comic books is Alan Moore, who picked up probably more than that because of his money from Watchmen and V for Vendetta and other properties. But he doesn't really care about that money. He gave all of his Watchmen money to Dave Gibbons, supposedly. So, but Alan Moore is the only one come close to that. A little bit of gaming news. Former Wizards of the Coast employee Donald Henry has been charged with felony theft for allegedly stealing $45,000 worth of Magic promo cards and then dumping them at a convention. This guy packed up a bunch out of somebody's locker, put them in a bag, headed out the door, allegedly, and there were over 1,700 cards. And the reason that people found out about this was he took it to a local Portland comic book convention, and he had a retailer selling them for him. Of course, the retailer didn't know that these were stolen. And when the feds found out about it, because Wizards of the Coast went to complain about it, because they've had a long history now of stuff like this happening, the feds found out about it, Wizards of the Coast found out about it, they told the feds, they showed up, they busted the retailer, and they picked this guy up. I assume the retailer's okay. But anyway, this guy's going to go to trial at some point for stealing all these promo cards. So all you Magic people out there, crime doesn't pay. We know you like playing cards, but you know this comic book stuff here, crime doesn't pay. You eventually get caught. Media news. The only media news story we have involves that wonderful Spider-Man musical that's going on in New York. Christopher Tierney, a 31-year-old aerialist, fell last week. We talked about this a little bit last week, the Week in Review. He fell last week during a performance of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. He suffered a hairline fracture of his skull, a broken scapula, a broken bone close to his elbow, 4 broken ribs, a bruised lung, and 3 fractured vertebrae. What a wonderful idea for a show. Let's do a show where we swing people around so they can get killed.
Well, if it was full of people, he would have landed on somebody.
Tierney, he probably should have landed in the audience on something.
Yeah.
Tierney underwent back surgery this past Wednesday, took his first steps this past Friday with the aid of a brace and a walker. Doctors are cautiously optimistic about his recovery. We hope, of course, that he recovers and that he's fine. Nobody should be hurt that badly on a Spider-Man play. For God's sake.
The show must go on, comic book
Yeah,
man.
well, the show must go on, but, you know, that's why in movies they have stuntmen and they shoot this stuff out of order. You know, you can't do this stuff on a live stage. It's ridiculous. This is the 4th time an actor has been hurt or injured during this production, and the show's official opening has been pushed back from January the 11th to February the 7th now. So there you go. Hopefully they'll have all this figured out. I would bet that by the time the show opens, you're going to have very little in the way of wire work in this show.
I would just write it into the show. People getting hurt. Ugh.
On the wrestling front, Jeff Hardy is probably going to plead guilty to his various drug charges that have been leveled against him. This is according to the Charlotte Observer. He was charged in September 2009, according to the Moore County District Attorney, of various drug offenses. And the big problem with this with TNA is, of course, Jeff Hardy is the current heavyweight champion over at TNA. So what are you going to do? Nobody really knows. TNA's sort of stuck in a pickle. And the last story we've got, CM Punk is been doing commentary work over at the WWE of late because he's been on the shelf. And CM Punk says he is just happy as hell to be doing commentary work. He says he finds it easy as can be. Apparently Vince is happy with him. For those of you who don't know, Vince spends most of the time backstage on either Raw or SmackDown screaming into the headset at people who are actually doing the commentary work, telling them what to say and what to do if they're not actually parroting what he wants them to do. But apparently he's very happy doing it, and he's looking at that being a retirement plan once he is done wrestling and can no longer function. Actually, what he'd like to do is wrestle and commentary at the same time. You know, talk. Hey, I'm going to beat him up. Jump in the ring, beat the guy up, then jump back. Hey, okay, I'm going to talk some more. So that's it. We're done. We're finished with out of here. That is Week in Review for this week. Everybody, have yourself a happy New Year. Please drive safely this coming New Year's Eve and get home in one piece because we want to see you again next week. And until next time, this is Comic Book Man saying bye. Alternate Reality is located at 3149 West 111th Street. That's the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in Chicago, the beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood neighborhood. You can always reach us at 773-881-HERO or at the store's website, www.myalternatereality.com.